I'm James Furnari. My friends call me Jim, so if you run into me, just call me Jim. I'm a survivor of double stroke 8 years ago, and I've been practicing art therapy to try to stay in touch with my status as far as hand, brain, and eye. And I'm going to share with you today an introduction drawing technique that I use. I call it drawing from scribbled shapes. And today's project is from my mind's eye. It's just going to be a simple still life, a Macintosh apple. I'm using a charcoal stick, and we're just going to work out very simply a scribbled oval. Very, very roughly. On my sketch pad with my charcoal. I'm using charcoal because I want to show density. And I have my cheat sheet up here because as you can see, my mind tends to wander and I want to stay on point. So, okay, here we go. Very simple, drawing from simple shapes. I like to build my form from inside out. And I see a Macintosh apple as a rough oval. And there's the beginning. And there we have it. Birth of an apple. Okay. As I say, I use art therapy for purpose, projects, and distraction. This is what gets me through years, and I want to share it with everybody that I can. Okay, your basic shape is down. Macintosh apple, a basic oval. I'm using a charcoal stick, like I say, so it's visible for the demonstration. But you could start this with a set of number 2 pencils and a 8.5-11 sketch pad from any stationery aisle in a grocery store or a Walgreens for about $8. Later on, if you want to progress, you can go to Michael's and pick up a set of Artist B pencils, 2B to 6Bs, which run softer and darker, and will pop more than a number 2 pencil with eraser. Okay, so here we go. We got our apple started. I'm just slowly trying to find the form, and I'll work in my outline little by little. Okay, on top of the apple, I'm going to put in a small stem cap, a little shadow of the stem cap where the stem will come out of. And now I can start to build up my shadows slowly. You could smear your shadows in using your finger for your mid-tone shadows. And try to bring a 2D drawing into 3D. There are 3 types of shadows. You have midtones, highlights, or your whites, and your darks, and then your blacks, really 4. So little by little we'll try to bring this thing to life, 3-dimensionally. Still working on the shape and the shadows. Smearing your shadows using your tip of your finger and slowly spread it around. Okay, and now I'm going to get into my darks. which would be under the bottom, and across the plane that it's on. Here we go, little by little. There's no rush, nothing to get hung about. Just play around with this. Start off with your number 2 pencil and your small 8.5 11 pad from Walgreens, and just have fun with it. It's just doodling. Okay, so I'm going to keep working. Let's see where I am. Simple still life. This is the method I'm using. The method I subscribe to is shape, color, and contrast to build images. Sometimes the color is black. If you want to go with actual color, you could pick up a set of colored pencils from Michael's Arts and Crafts also. Just go in there and talk to a salesperson and tell them what you want to try to do, and they'll help you out. They're very helpful. Okay, working with my shadows around the shape that I've started. Just smearing with my fingertips. Just taking it easy. Playing around. Trying to create this apple. The darkest will go underneath because the light is coming from the top. And slowly by slowly we're trying to bring this two-dimensional scribble into a three-dimensional item. I'm going to pull out tabletop from left to right because our apple does not just float around in space. And I'm going to drop a nice dark shadow underneath it that I can slowly pull out. And make this thing real. Out of the shadow stem cap, I'm going to pull up a dark stem. So that stem would be on the black side. And then on the underneath, a little bit more of a darker shadow that will continue to blend with our finger. And slowly but surely bring this thing to life. Pulling out the underneath shadow and eventually bringing it to black. Little by little, you play with this. It's trial and error, add and subtract. Nothing to get hung about. Just play around, okay? Stretch out your plain top, your tabletop, and blend that in. And here we go. It's just scribbling and doodling and smearing, and you could come up with something in the end. It's not going to be perfect. We're not all Michelangelos, but in the end, you can have something that's worthy of framing, matting and framing, and hanging in your home. I'll write back at Michael's Arts and Crafts again, where they do a good job of that. The way I'm talking about Michael's, you'll be there all the time. So there we have it. Shape, contrast, and color. That's my formula. And there we go, from my mind's eye. There's our own personal Cezanne. And welcome to the art world, and enjoy your journey. Thank you for your time.